Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the 2021 Florida Derby winner, trained by Todd Pletcher. It's Known Agenda as he heads for the Kentucky Derby. Let's watch Known Agenda's upset victory in the Florida Derby. The big favorite going in was Greatest Honor for Shug McGahee. Known Agenda got the jump on the favorite Greatest Honor, turning for home, and he stays to his business. This horse has just improved by leaps and bounds, it seems, mentally. Early in his career, Mike, it seemed he would run in spots. He would have no early speed. Ever since the blinkers came on for Todd Pletcher, the light bulbs come on as well.
Yeah, it does feel like blinkers made a pretty significant difference for this horse, Dan. He is a horse who, at the beginning of his career, the first two starts of his career, you could tell that he had a lot of potential. For whatever reason, it just took him, a little bit longer than some of the others to put everything together. The blinkers have really helped in that regard.
And this is a situation where you don't worry about pedigree. Perhaps pedigree is not a factor that you consider much in the Kentucky Derby anymore. But with a horse like Known Agenda by Curlin out of a dam that was a Grade 1 winner, I believe, going 9 furlongs, and just watching this horse's running style, 3 wins now at 9 furlongs, grinding it out each time. He's tailor-made for the Derby, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. And he's also, it helps that he's really shown improved tactical speed in his last 2 races with the blinkers on. I mean, going back to watch, the full run of that Florida Derby last time, Dan, I mean, he was in a perfect position in that race all the way around the track. And once they took him clear in the stretch, he fairly ran that field right over.
Known Agenda's Florida Derby buyer of 94 is a little bit light compared to some of the other top contenders, but you get the feeling that he just seems to be improving day by day and that another forward move isn't out of the question. Are you concerned, however, that with the exception of Greatest Honor, who is now off the Kentucky Derby trail, those 3-year-olds in South Florida just didn't seem very good, and that Known Agenda is going to be taking a pretty significant class hike in the Derby?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair thing to point out, Dan. The 3-year-olds in Florida this year, they weren't the strongest group. So it feels like he does have something to prove, as he steps up to face some better horses now in Kentucky. It is worth pointing out that he did, I thought, acquit himself pretty well early on against Highly Motivated, who's a really nice horse. He did beat Greatest Honor in his second career start, and that's when Greatest Honor was still really good. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't worry about stuff like that quite as much. I just want to see if the races sort of match up with what they're going to be facing. I think this horse's races match up.
While we have seen better tactical speed from Known Agenda in his last 2 starts at Gulfstream Park, there's a very good likelihood that the pace will be fast in the Kentucky Derby and that Known Agenda will likely have to come from further out of it. Are you concerned that maybe he'll have to revert to those closing tactics and then all of a sudden trip becomes very important?
No, I mean, obviously you always worry about trip in a race that could have 20 horses in it. You can't get, too far back and then, have to come either really wide or try to work your way through traffic. So you have to worry about it. I mean, I'm not going to concern myself with it at this point. This horse to me has run really well in basically all of his races. There are a couple there in the middle before the blinkers went on where it felt like maybe he was still trying to figure things out, but I'm not going to worry about what kind of trip he can get. This horse, if nothing else, Dan, he has shown that he finishes in his races, and I'd like to have a good finisher in the Derby.
Do you feel that he's one of those under-the-radar horses that probably won't be a wise guy horse that might go off at a really playable price? What price do you see him in the Derby?
Yeah, I don't know. That to me would be the big point. And I don't know how much steam is really on this horse at this point. It felt to me like right after the Florida Derby, like maybe a lot of people were going to be jumping on this horse's bandwagon. But now it feels like since that race has been run, maybe that hasn't really happened. Listen, personally, I feel like he is one of the more likely winners of the race.
And he might go off at odds of 9, 10 to 1, considering that his buyer speed figures are a little bit light, and some folks might be questioning the caliber of competition he beat in that breakout performance in the Florida Derby. But he's obviously well-bred, he's obviously well-connected, and he has the class. It's Florida Derby winner Known Agenda heading for Churchill Downs.